What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. My name is Splattercat, and we are here today playing another episode of Shadowrun Dragonfall. In the previous episode, we had had a very long talk with Glory. In fact, it was like a 6 or 7 minute talk with Glory, where we had learned a little bit of her backstory, and then we had also finished off the run that was against OTK. Now today, we need to talk with, let's see if we can make up with Dietrich. Dietrich shakes his head and he looks furious. You left me behind. My fucking nephew was in that complex and you knew it and you left me. His blood is on your hands. We both know it and I've got nothing more to say. Yeah, well, I suppose it's finally official. My bad memory has finally managed to kill someone. I mean, I figured it would happen sooner rather than later, and so there it is. I mean, you can't really... I should probably get one of those little Game Boy Advance things that works on my memory or something, because flat out, somebody lost their digital life because I wasn't paying attention. But whatever, let's go talk to Amsel. I suppose at this point I could just be like, we need a res on Dietrich's nephew, but I feel like that would sort of be a dick move. So let's just move on. Three-toe, a job well done as usual, and the plan has worked swimmingly, I might add. I'm already patched into the Knight Errant comm system. If and when they summon their high-threat response team, we will know it. As soon as you finish resupplying, I'd recommend heading directly down to the Jewel District. The Jewel District? A commercial district shared by a variety of competing corporate interests, as technology controls the largest share of the district, including the major utilities that serve it. You will find the facility that you will be raiding there. Considering the level of security that as technology is running, I wouldn't count on medical evac being available in this run. In fact, I'd bet against it. That means if anyone falls unconscious in there, they'll be buried when the building collapses. Obviously, you can't let that happen. I'd suggest stocking up on medical supplies before leaving the Kreuzbazaar. No Matavic for the run. Got it. One last thing, Three-Toe. Frau Muller sent me a message while you were on the OTK run. She says that when you reach the sub-basement of the facility, you'll find a security door. This door's maglocks can be opened via a voice print recognition system. Apparently, Frau Muller surreptitiously recorded your meeting. She claims that she's added your voice print to the AS Technology database. So what does that mean for me? If our client is to be believed, you'll have the necessary access to open the door. The rest of your team, however, will not. When you reach that door, I'd recommend grouping up. Now, only you can open it, and there's no saying what you'll find on the other side. Shh. I'm not crazy about all these new details coming in. She should have briefed me about all this earlier. Agreed. Our Frau Muller is clearly out of her depth. That said, we find ourselves between a rock and a hard place. We desperately need the money she's paying for this job, and we've already committed ourselves by attacking OTK. Despite Frau Muller's lack of professionalism, we need to press forward, and that means you're going to need to get past that door. Go now, Three-Toe. We'll need to strike while the iron's hot. I'm on it. But what if our iron is hot? If our iron is hot, that means it'll be flimsy and it'll break. I want to strike while our iron is cold. There, I can say that. Our iron. God, that's a tough. Our iron. I can say it. I swear to God, I can say the good things. All of the things that are humorous, I can say them. I believe in myself right now. I have so much faith in the future. Well, not really. I never have faith. I'm one of those people that's just like cynical all the time. And it seems like I'm really upbeat on the channel, but like in real life, I am just the biggest cynical prick all the time. I'm just like, eh. Everything's probably gonna burn down and die anyways. Let's go. I suppose we should probably kind of shop around and figure out. Yeah, let me go to the Talus Kramer and we'll see what I can upgrade here. She never has anything to say to me, so I'm just gonna stop trying. We will talk to Algernon though. Is it weird that Algernon is here, even though he was just in Seattle the other day? Like, how long after the first game does this one take place? I wasn't really paying attention. Let's look at the inventory and see if there's anything new that we want to get our... Actually, let's do our Charisma first, or our Karma first. We've only got 9. I mean, it's not a huge amount of Karma. This game's a little bit more tight-fisted with Karma than the last one is. But you also start with higher thresholds for all of your... stats, so one of the things is it takes you a lot more points, even from the start of the game, just to do something simple. We can go willpower into... We can go spellcasting 4 or willpower. Maybe. We can go charisma number 8, which will give us yet another etiquette. We can go... We're at 6 and 5 right there. Unfortunately, what is this barrier right here? Hellstorm barrier. That sounds pretty badass. That sounds like a thing that I want. I'm going to go... Spirit control is nice too, even though I don't get to summon spirits very often. What does that one do? Increase your spellbook slot. Probably not going to be that useful. Let's go for the 8 in charisma and take the extra etiquette, and then I'm going to go with security. Might be useful in the upcoming run. We'll save the extra karma, and we'll try and get to Hellstorm Barrier. Hellstorm Barrier sounds badass as hell. Anyways, I don't think there's going to be anything we can upgrade right now because we didn't actually increase our conjuring abilities. We get the Adept's Combat Vest, which seems a little bit cooler than what we were wearing before. We got Summoner's Guard Armor on, which gave us Spirit Control and Charisma. That one gives us Unarmed and Willpower. Oh yeah, we've already talked about that armor. That's a really bad armor for anybody other than the Adept. Let's just go ahead and get this run underway, I think. I believe we've probably got all the equipment that we need. Let me have a look here. Okay, so I'm missing a couple things. I do think that we should probably go over to our medical associate. We'll try and do that in speedy mode by clicking as far away from my own character as I can. But unfortunately, I've been waylaid. And once we grab some of the medical supplies that we're going to need, I don't really know what I have in my stockpile right now, but it could never hurt to grab a few high-end first aid kits and a couple Bamonas maybe. Especially since it's kind of a zero-sum game. So I think I'm going to go for 2 Bamona Golds. And a couple of advanced med kits. And that should be more than enough for us. I don't see any situation in which we'll find ourselves using way more than that. I will subtract that out of my kit. Then I'll give myself back the air fetish, I guess. I don't know. That's actually something I could think about. Let's do that. Let's go back to Algernon's and we'll buy ourselves like the best fetish that we can. If indeed a fetish can be bought. I think you kind of had, like, you develop those tastes on your own and then you buy access to them. Typically is how fetishes work in the real world. But I've totally switched subjects right here. And if any of you are hanging with me, you'll be like, and you'll know what I'm talking about. And if not, then just don't worry about it. Let it go. Just let it fly right by. Now that we've got ourselves situated back here, consumables, a Force 5. Yeah, that thing sounds badass. Let's go with a Force 5. And then we'll throw that into our inventory, and everything is disorganized again. I hate this. Makes me sad. I need everything to be organized, otherwise my world is just not okay. We'll do a little kit just for some variability. We'll have 2 Bumonas. There we are. Fantastic. I feel as though we're really stocked up for this next run. We should be perfectly fine. Wait, there's a... Oh, yeah, there's a U-Bahn right here. Well, then, we will take it. We will take their U-Bahn and it will vanish into the night. And they'll be like, what the hell happened to that giant train system that was down here? I think we're probably going to stick with our standard team, as we always do. And so, let's move against Bloodline. Glory still, I don't think, has upgraded her pistol, weirdly enough. It says customized, so maybe that's what it means when it upgrades. He's got himself a Fuchi. He still hasn't upgraded me. Yeah, he needs to upgrade badly. Anyways, not going to stress on it too much. Let's go ahead and travel to the complex and we'll kind of see how this thing plays out. I'm interested to see how difficult this is going to be. This is a major run for us, and some of the runs, I like how the game is a little bit more difficult this time. As Technology, a giant in the worlds of technological and magical research, one of the most powerful and feared corporations on the planet, there are very few places in this world that the tendrils of As Technology can't reach. Germany is no exception. The black glass edifice of an Azzy pyramid dominates the courtyard of the Citadel Spandau, and countless other more innocuous facilities can be found all over Berlin. The lab that they maintain in the Jewel District is one of these. According to your client, the project that the Azzies are working on down here is dangerous. So dangerous that she's paying you to bring the entire building down. Alright, so let's make sure it did it again. Did I do that or did it do that? I feel like it did that. Anyways. Let's go ahead and get kitted up here. We've got a couple major medic... Okay, so she's got a couple major med kits right there. That's fine. For Blitz, we'll probably give him... He's got 2 of those. Probably give him another one and like 1 basic Bamona kit. Just in case we have to have him res somebody. I don't think it's likely since he doesn't tend to... He tends to be the one getting knocked out. Over here, we've got flashbangs, and I think I am going to stick with flashbangs just because the Renraku flashes are really, really good. And then we'll keep her up with all of the medkits. So the Knight Errant one, I may actually... Do I have any better ones? Got phosphorus grenades. I think we've got... If we actually have like 5 res kits get used during the course of this mission, I would be incredibly and deeply surprised. The Jewel District is everything that your client made it out to be. Corporate complexes of all descriptions crowd into one another, competing for the district's limited space. Typo. Lights burn in all of the windows, but the streets stand empty. No shoppers, no pedestrians, nothing but silence. It's quiet out here. A friend of mine did a job here once. Told me that the local wage slaves are all issued efficiency apartments deep inside the compound. Apparently the buildings are all linked up on an underground tram system. Bed to cubicle in less than 5 minutes. Most days the poor bastards don't even get to see the sunshine. That ain't living. It's a slow death. He shakes his head. I just don't get wage slaves, man. I really, really don't. Yep, I don't know either. I just don't know. That is the statue that I want in my living room right there. That is a statue that commands power. When somebody walks into your living room and they see that statue, they're like, damn, this guy has also... He has terrible taste, but also he's probably got money to burn. Searching the dead drop, you find a package with the telltale markings of the Shockwellen writer. RE As Technology. This is an open request for the research data from As Technology, Jewel District Branch. The Azzies conduct their research in secrecy. They use their money and power to obscure the truth. We will uncover their secrets. We will share them with the world. We will level the playing field between As Technology and its competition. The timely delivery of this information will be well rewarded. Freedom, equality, information, Shockwellen writer. I don't know, it was in all caps. Man, they even got a helicopter on the top of the building. Damn, we should have attacked this place with an army. I think we're in trouble. We're just gonna go straight through the front door, aren't we? Your comlink crackles with static. Great, Luca Dwyer. A moment later, the sonorous voice of Luca Dwyer begins speaking into your ear. Hello again, Three-Toe. I have an opportunity for you. You're in As Technology's facility, yes? Well, that facility is also home to an executive, a small man who foolishly believes that he's beyond our reach. As you well know, nobody is beyond our reach. We'd like you to deliver him a message to this effect. What kind of message are we talking about here? The vocal kind. It's really quite simple. All we want you to do is whisper a phrase into his ear. We are pleased that Project Vincent is going so well. If you wanted to embellish the fact that he is receiving this message in the one place where he feels the most secure, we wouldn't stop you. And that's all there is to it. A simple job, but an important one. I've already marked your target's accurate location on our PDA. We have great faith in you, Three-Toe, and please don't disappoint us. I kind of dislike the fact that they kind of just command us to do stuff on a whim, like we go and do whatever they tell us to. Your comlink buzzes. There's a series of clicks as the connection is established. A moment later, Paul Amsel begins to speak. Alright, Three-Toe, that's the As Technology complex just in front of you. You'll note the heavy security posted at the front door. Those are As Technology employees. They're dangerous to be sure, but you could probably take them out without too much difficulty. Unfortunately, the Azzies have also contracted Knight Errant to protect the facility. They're the ones that we need to worry about. Just to reiterate, you'll want to keep a low profile on this run. Get in and out as quickly and quietly as possible. Knight Errant keeps a high threat response team on site, and you don't want to tangle with them. Trust me on this. If you do need to go loud, give it everything you've got. You're going to be reducing the building to a smoldering crater anyways. But I'd recommend stealth over a frontal assault. Thanks for the heads up. No problem. If I were you, I'd begin by trying to find an alternative path into the building. Something out of sight. Once the facility calls for help, you're going to be on a tight timetable. Alright. How'd you like to walk to work right there? Just guns pointing at you as you walk in. Scary stuff. Let's have a look around the compound. We'll talk to this lady too. I mean, we kind of look suspicious. We're a big group with a combat drone. A stern-looking young woman in the uniform of an As Technology security captain steps forward. Her assault rifle is slung over her shoulder and she half raises it at your approach. This is a secure facility, sir. Show your ID or move along. No worries, ma'am. I was just out for a walk. Yeah, we'll walk the other way. She shoulders her rifle but keeps the barrel pointed at the ground. A warning, but not a death threat. Now. God, all these people are so touchy. I mean, come on. You gotta be cool. I'm just trying to have a small conversation with you. You don't need to point a gun at me. I mean, I realize this is Shadowrun, where everybody's got a firearm, but you could take it a little slower. A shoddily built soy cap shop. Looks like it's closed. I bet that's gonna be our inn. A human and a dwarf, both in their early 20s, stand huddled around the courtyard. They don't seem to notice your approach. She's been gone a long time, Mira. I'm getting worried, aren't you? She's my girlfriend, Heinrich. Of course I'm worried, but she can handle herself. On the streets, yeah, but against the Azzies, I just don't know. She'll be okay. Brave words, but her tone tells a different story. It's plain as day that she's worried sick. Oh man, I don't know what to do, Mira. And I still say that messing with the Azzies was a bad idea. What else were we supposed to do? That compound of theirs is lit up like a goddamn Christmas tree. They got more power than they know what to do with. We just need that juice, Heimer. Our solar connectors are garbage. If we can't keep the lights on after a few days of cloud cover, how do you think we're gonna survive the winter? I know, Mira. I know, but couldn't we have just bought some secondhand panels? They can't be that expensive. She sighs. We could have, sure, before Danny spent our last handful of Nuyen on those forged keycards. She straightens up, puts on a brave face. She'll be fine. She'll be back any second now. Just you wait. Somebody spent a fair amount of money on this utility hatch, and it's plastered with anti-tampering warnings to prove it. A cursory inspection shows that the hatch has been mag-locked, a fairly sophisticated model from the looks of it. Short of using an authorized keycard, there's no way you're getting past this thing. Okay, well, option number 1 is obviously going to be them. Let's continue having a look around, because I'm sort of wondering if they're going to give us multiple entrances on this one. Let's maybe swing up this way. There's another couple side streets and everything that might be useful. Cheap corporate art. Looks like marble from a distance, but up close it's clearly made of injection molded plasticrete. Well, we've got an in through the back door. This LTG tech's coveralls are smeared with sweat and grime. A scowl is plastered across her face. She takes a quick glance at you, then turns back to her work. Unless you're here to help me fix this panel, you better stay the hell out of my hair. Otherwise, I'll call security and have them drag you out. Have Blitz take a look at the panel. Quickly, Blitz shows her the problem, 2 mismatched connections. Hey, yeah, you're right. She looks up at you. The scowl has disappeared from her face, but she doesn't look happy either. Look, I really appreciate the help, but I have to do this myself. I'm already way behind, and corporate's gonna have my ass if I don't have it done before lunch. Well, you know, if you're that far behind, you could always go catch up on your other work. Leave me here to work on the panel. It'd be no trouble. A confused scowl crosses her face. I don't even know you, buddy. Why in God's name would I leave you alone with a panel that I'm responsible for? When did Az Technology ever do anything for you, aside from letting you work half to death? Let me take care of the panel, and you can clock out early. I'll even spread a little spending money your way. You make a compelling argument. This job has been a load of dreck since they canned my assistant. Yeah, screw it. The panel's all yours. I'm off to find a pub. Thought he was gonna go do another job. So I don't know what we did right there, but we did something. This panel's a mess. The lock in the casing has been broken, and exposed cabling spills out a number of places. Have the decker override the controls. Oh yeah, we can just walk right in if we wanted to. I don't think that's a good plan, though. I think we may want to be a bit more underhanded about this one. I mean, I don't mean to upbraid the strategy, but I really do feel as though that's kind of like the second resort. Like, this is the last resort. That's the second resort. Second to last resort. And this is probably the first resort. I bet they've got a tunnel system that goes up and under the building. She looks up at you, expression guarded. Yeah, what do you want? I couldn't help overhearing you two. Going up against Az Technology, huh? We're not going up against anything. She gestures broadly over her own body. Do we look like Shadowrunners to you? We're just improvising. I mean, trying to stay in business. He gives Mira a significant glance. It's the only way we can. He looks a little young for he's got like baby face, but that's a huge beard. You kids are gonna get yourself killed. Look, man, we're just trying to keep our business running. She nods. That place is everything to us. We live here, we work there, it's all that we've got. If we can't keep the shop open, all that goes away. We're out on the streets broken in the dead of winter. We're doing this because we don't have a choice. He stares at you for a moment before speaking. Look, you're obviously a professional. We work at a soy calf shop. We don't know what the hell we're doing. Mira likes to talk, though. Hamer. But she clearly doesn't know the first thing about dealing with corporate security, and Danny knows even less about splicing into power lines. Confidence can only carry you so far. He looks down at Mira and then shakes his head. I'm sorry, Mira, but I can't afford to be optimistic, and to be honest, you can't either. Danny needs help, whether you'd like to admit it or not. The facade cracks and Mira's face crumbles. Yeah, I know. So can you help us? We need that power and we need Danny back. I don't think we're going to get either without your help. If it's bad for the Azzies, it's good for me. I'll help you out. Oh, thank God, and thank you, too. He turns to Mira. Give him the spare keycard that Danny bought. He's going to fix this for us. You can see the mistrust in her eyes, but after a moment's hesitation, she begins to fish around in her bag. Finally, she produces a thick plastic keycard. She hands it to you. This will get you into the utility tunnel. Danny went down there about a half an hour ago. She said she'd be back in 10 minutes. Find her for us, okay? Please bring her back safe. You know what would be really bad is if the dragon is in on this too. I was kind of thinking about that. If the dragon and Az technology are back in on this, we are so hosed. And it looks sturdy as ever. Insert the key card. The indicator light on the maglock changes from red to green. There's an audible thunk, and the hatch pops open, revealing a ladder leading down below into the security tunnel. Alright. Let's keep our heads down. The lock is short-circuited. And I really would prefer to stay away from that kill team that they're talking about, the high threat response team. Oh good, we've got drones down here causing problems. In an instant, you size up the scene playing out in front of you. A young elf dressed in the same shabby chic clothes that the cafe kids were. Danny, cornered with no place to run. A pair of Az technology security drones are closing in for the kill. The drones are low grade, but they're armed and Danny's hands are empty. She's in trouble and she knows it. The futility of her situation is written all over her face. An instant later, the drone sensors alert them to your presence. They spin in unison to face you. Intruders detected. Weapons detected. Lethal force authorized. Danny's eyes widen. She hits the deck. The panic spills out of her in a scream. Look out! We got this. And there we go. Like I said, we got this. 2 security drones ain't nothing but a thing. Danny looks you up and down, and when she's finished sizing you up, she puts her hands on her hips and smiles. Thanks for the rescue. It takes a pair to bring a weapon into Azzy territory. Everybody knows that they shoot first if you're packing. I wouldn't have risked it. Life in the shadows is all about taking risks. Yeah, well, life running a soy calf shop is a little more my speed. Not that there aren't risks, but there's always a chance that some drunk will break your windows or a gang will try and shake you down for protection. Those things I can handle, but this... She stares down at the smashed drones and slowly shakes her head. Anyways, yeah, I'll admit it, I got in over my head, but only a little bit. The drones wouldn't have shot me, I wasn't armed, but I wasn't looking forward to spending the next week in an Azzy interrogation cell. I've heard stories. The stories are true, she shakes her head. You have no idea how lucky you are. If they'd taken you, you've spent the rest of your miserable life wishing you'd been shot. I'll take your word for it. I'm not planning on making a habit of this. She slaps the side of the power conduit with a smile. And I shouldn't need to. The tap's all hooked up and ready. Impressive. Heinrich wasn't convinced that you could pull it off. Yeah, well, it's amazing what you can teach yourself to do when your livelihood depends on it. Blitz leans in to inspect her work. Yeah, it looks like a pretty solid connection. Nice soldering job on the contacts there. I'd say you're good to go. He straightens, cocks a glance back at you. You know, Chief, we could use this setup to our advantage. It wouldn't be too hard for me to manufacture a power spike from here. We could overload the Azzy's power grid without disabling the generators. Safety overrides. It wouldn't cause any permanent damage, but the confusion might give us an opening to get into the building. He shrugs. Your call, of course. Just thought I'd bring it up. Danny's eyes go wide. Whoa, hold up. If you do that, they'll trace it. Az technology will find the power tap and they'll come down on all of us. Let's see. We can't chance getting caught in here. The stakes are too high. Tell it to somebody that cares. We could say we just saved your life. You owe us. We just saved your life. You owe us. Yeah, you saved my life, all right. But now you're talking about doing something that'll get all of us killed. Me, Mira, Heinrich. He's got a little sister to look after. What happens to her if the Azzies take us away? Well, we've got a little bit of an ethical quandary. We can't allow other people to die to make our job easier. I mean, we're probably going to end up killing a bunch of people anyway, so this whole decision is sort of just kind of tit for tat, if you know what I mean. I mean, we're going to end up murdering innocent people anyways. I don't count security guards as innocent staff. But well, let's let it go for now. We wouldn't do that to you. Tell your friends everything's going to be alright. She breathes a sigh of relief. Thanks. You know, some people say that Shadowrunners are ruthless criminals, guns for hire, just out for the money. It's good to see that that isn't always the case. I'm going to bail on out of here, and I've stuck with this tunnel for too long already. Like you said, the others are worried, but if there's anything that we can do for you, come by the shop. You'll be welcome at our place for life. Probably not the wisest decision. But at the same time... I don't see how the power spike if we cross some wires and then put them back where they were, unless they've got like a monitoring system. I don't know, you guys. I just don't know. It's like one of those things where I always feel terrible about killing innocent people just to get my job done. Sometimes I wish that I was a bit more chaotic neutral, chaotic evil, just to not give a damn. Danny looks up at you with a smile. There he is, our hero. Thanks so much, man. Thanks for bringing him back to us. Yeah, thanks. And thank you for trying to keep the Azzies off our tails. If Danny had been captured... it would have been bad. She reaches up, grabs Danny's hand, and clutches it tight. Worse than bad, babe. A lot worse. She looks down at Mira and smiles, squeezes her hand tight. Anyway, thanks again for the rescue. We all owe you a lot. If there's anything that any of us can do for you, let us know. Yeah, unless you've got a corporate kill team on hands that can draw a little bit of heat. I think we're going in hot. I don't like this. I really, really sincerely don't like this. I think I'm going to break the episode off right here to let the nerves cool for a little bit. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the shadows for another episode of Shadowrun Dragonfall. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow, and take care in the shadows out there, chummers.